Now that the House and Senate has passed the bill to release the Epstein files, the question now is, how much of those documents have been scrubbed?
Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovely. I came across these stitches on my For You and I thought to share. Where internet is reacting to the fact that Orange Man has decided to flip the script. He is of the opinion that, okay, he actually have signed to release this Epstein list, and people are questioning his sudden change of mind to release it. Ladies, I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together, because so many people are of the opinion that if this is something that he has agreed to do, that means there is something that has happened on the net which they're not wanting the public to know. Anyways, let's dive into this video, and we are going to come back to talk about it because it's actually getting interesting each and every person day. All of a sudden, Orange Man is wanting this to be.
So Epstein's brother just came forward and confirmed that they are in fact doing what is called a sanitization of the files at a location in Winchester, Virginia. And I want you to know that when they release these files, and the reason that Donald Trump said release the files, but he's not doing it himself, which he can do, is because they needed time. One of the news, however, is reporting how multiple witnesses are reporting that the DOJ, Pam Bundy, Donald Trump, and Winchester, New York have the Epstein files and are actively redacting anyone's name, covering up who is conservative, Republican, or with Trump. And that is why he released that tweet stating these names, because it was a whistle. It was a dog whistle. The fact remains, they have had the files since they got in office. And I want you to know that the reason that there was this government shutdown delaying the swearing in of the woman who had the last Epstein vote was because they've been altering and fucking with the files. But one thing that will show, no one's stupid. We all know Trump flipped his position because Pam Bundy said they're ready. And we know that he didn't actively just say release them because they're adding the finishing touches. Well, listen to this.
What I do want to talk about is I've been recently told the reason they're going to be releasing these things and the reason for the flip is that they're sanitizing these files. There's a facility in Winchester, Virginia, where they're scrubbing the files to take Republican names out.
Do you think like the stuff with Epstein will actually get released or not at all?
If it does, it'll be heavily redacted and his name won't be in it.
But those files do exist.
There's files.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, oh, that last guy's dead now. So you can believe what you want to believe, but one thing about altering information, actual files that they have to fax into the House committee to document them and release them, after they do, witnesses will know that you redacted your name. I mean, it's not going to be hard to see. But please, let's think fucking logically. This whole thing has been about sanitizing and hiding what's in those files, and they're going to keep doing it.
Now that the House and Senate has passed the bill to release the Epstein files, the question now is, how much of those documents have been scrubbed? Because back in July, the FBI, ran by Kash Patel, who was appointed by Donald Trump, had 1,000 FBI agents working 24-hour shifts to sift through thousands of documents related to Epstein looking for Trump's name. We had Pam Bondi, our Attorney General, telling Fox News that the list is on my desk right now and that she'd be going through it, and then turn around and say, oh, the list doesn't exist. We had Donald Trump calling it a hoax. They took advantage of the government shutdown by dragging it out as long as possible and refusing to swear in Representative Adelita Grijalva, who was the vote needed to bring the vote to the floor to release the Epstein files, when they could have just swore her in like they've sworn in every other representative during a shutdown. And now Donald Trump doesn't care that they're released. I don't know. If that bill makes it across his desk with his signature, it's not to be trusted, because there's no way that administration hasn't tampered with evidence.
So I'm finna talk and you finna listen. It's not just kids in them fucking files. It's not just kids in those fucking files, okay? It's not just homosexual shit in those fucking files. But y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't listen. Because something I need you guys to remember is that the people that are mentioned in those files, they're all people that are in positions of power. They're all people that are in positions of power that have riches, that have privilege. And 9 times out of 10, this power, this privilege, it wasn't fucking earned. It was inherited, meaning they're the descendants of those that were originally in power. And what did the motherfuckers who were originally in power do? What did they do with the justification that their money, that their prestige, that their power, allows them to be able to do this? What did they do to us? Did you guys forget that with the justification of class and racism, that the whites in this country, the higher ups, those in power, they ate us? They were eating us with the justification of racism. They justified cannibalism. They ate us. They used our hair and our skin for furniture stuffing. They used our bones for fucking furniture. Some of them still have them in their families, still have our body parts, our ancestors' body parts. You understand? Black people, colored people, indigenous people in their homes on display. That's what the fuck those people who were in power did with the justification that they could do it. So imagine what these motherfuckers was doing on that island. They don't want that shit to come out because let me tell you something. Y'all thinking that they're fucking pedophiles is 10 times more acceptable than you actually knowing what the fuck they were doing. So like I'm saying, it's not just fucking kids in those files. It's not just kids in those files. This is why everybody is saying that whatever is in that shit is something truly fucking sinister. Truly fucking sinister. And I can't wait to see. I can't wait to fucking see.
I want your guys' opinion. Let me know in the comments over this way, because all of a sudden Donald Trump has flipped the script completely. And he is now indicating that he will sign for the immediate release of the complete Jeffrey Epstein file. Let me know your thoughts over this way, because what a lot of people do not remember, the FBI has already redacted his name completely from the file. And I understand they want to protect the victims. What they should do, to be honest, redact every single victim's name from the file, leave everyone else's. That way we know exactly what those people ended up doing to those children. Let me know your thoughts in the comments right over this way. Make sure to like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Give me a follow, you guys, because TikTok is suppressing my views. Thank you so much for your time.
Trump said to release the Epstein files.
What happened?
There will be a vote to release the Epstein files on Sunday, so Trump made a post saying he doesn't care anymore. Release them because we have nothing to hide. This is because dozens of Republicans have already secretly decided to vote for its release. However, Trump posted it's time to move on from this Democrat hoax created by radical left lunatics in order to distract from my great success. He then started bragging about things that never happened and told MAGA not to fall into the Epstein trap, which is a Democrat curse.
Then why hasn't he released the files?
He previously said that there are important people in the files and that they are his friends. He doesn't want to get them in trouble. And when he found out he was on it, he had the FBI redact his name. So some people think that either they finished redacting Trump's name in the files or just shredded them entirely. It's also possible that Trump is trying to make it look like he wanted them released the entire time to save face, because he's the one that blocked it and told Republicans to vote no after he found out he was in it.
So will the survivors finally receive justice?
Well, Trump had Pam Bondi order the DOJ to begin an investigation on the Epstein files, but people accuse Trump of trying to block the release under claims of it being investigated. So MAGA started burning their hats and influencers started turning on him.
How can he be investigated if he said it didn't exist?
Don't interrupt me! Get ready for MAGA Civil War!
Here thinking all weekend, like, what is Trump doing? Why is he all of a sudden like flipping the script, right? And then I was like, oh, that's what he's doing. So I want to tell you what I think he's doing and then give you a couple things to keep an eye out for. And if you see these things happening, you're going to be like, that's what she said. Okay. So here's the thing. I think he's going to use something called the pocket veto to get around the e-files, right? So here's what I think is going to happen. So when something passes in Congress, right, they can send it up to the president. They have to, for it to be signed into law, all right? And what would happen is he has three options, the president. He can veto, he can sign it, right, into law, or he can pocket veto. And what is required for a pocket veto is a 10-day break in both houses, all right, excluding Sundays. So I was like, why is he all of a sudden saying like, yeah, it's fine, just release the files? And then you have all these Republicans onboarding, and I'm like, and at first I thought, oh, well, they're just doing it, right, to like save their asses for the midterms. But then I was like, oh my God, that's what they're doing. They're going to vote for it knowing full well that he's just going to pocket veto it. So here's what I think is going to happen, the timeline. Tomorrow on the 18th, they're going to vote in the House. They're going to get their 218 signatures, and likely well more than that for the reasons that I'm saying. Okay, and guys, I'm not saying that there aren't certain Republicans that are getting on board here because they think that it's the right thing to do. I'm saying there are a lot of them that I think you're going to see sign on to it because of this political cover here. Okay, so they're going to sign it, right, tomorrow. They're going to vote. And then it'll go from there to the Senate, all right? So when it goes to the Senate, my guess, if you see the Senate really slow walking it, like genuinely slow walking it, and they'll say things like, well, we really have to focus on the budget, right? Because of the slowdown, they'll point the shutdown, they'll point back and say, well, we really have to get these things nailed down, this, that, and the other. All right, so they'll slow walk it right up until the 18th. They'll pass it, and then it'll land on the president's desk. But because they go into their end of year, I think it's called like sign die or whatever. Basically, it just means their end of year. So they close on 19 December. They don't come back until the 3rd of January. 15 days. Perfect window. He pocket vetoes it. Why does this work for everybody? The Republicans get political cover because they can say, well, we voted for transparency. Like, we voted to release the files. And Trump, you can't accuse him of vetoing it outright, like signing it, right? He's not going to veto it. He's just going to pocket veto it, which means that it quietly dies. So that means that HR 4405, which is the E-Files Transparency Act, okay? That's the thing that's going through the House tomorrow for the signatures. That particular version of the bill, it's dead. You have to start all over again. You got to come up with a whole new bill. You got to get a whole nother 218 signatures. It has to go back to this. You see what I'm saying? And they can just slow walk this thing right past the midterms. Anyway, that's what I think is going on. Y'all let me know what you think. Share this with a friend if you learned something, because it's the only thing that makes sense. So let me know what y'all think. Hey guys, happy Monday. I am
put it in front of our faces intentionally. My parents were pervs, and I have been cracking the code of the creep since I was a child. Images that we have seen throughout the years that point to something else going on. It's hazing, it's team building, you can call it different things, but in this context, when we use words like that, it makes it seem unusual, otherworldly, demonic. Like, there's words that go along with, like nicknames, doing dress up, going into public as it's like the fact that these people are creating legislation impact my rights and the rights of people in my community, and yet are playing in our face like this. There's layers and layers to it, but one of the things that I keep thinking about are all the images that we know we have seen throughout the years. We've seen this, we've seen Putin on a horse, we've seen different things that are right in front of our face. As more and more artificial things become popular, how much will we believe is real? And how, like, if you didn't know that this existed, I don't want to be in between them. Let me go up here. If you didn't know that this was an actual thing that existed, the whole little scene and all the comments and the interactions between the two of them, you would maybe think it's AI. You would think that that's not real. And is that part of the reason why AI is being pushed so much? Because it blurs the boundaries. We don't know. It definitely helps people hide in plain sight if what is in plain sight is in question, if it's even real at all. They put it in front of our faces intentionally. My parents were pervs, and I have been cracking the code of the creep since I was a child. Images that we have seen throughout the years that point to something else going on. It's hazing, it's team building, you can call it different things, but in this context, when we use words like that, it makes it seem unusual, otherworldly, demonic. Like, there's words that go along with, like nicknames, doing dress up, going into public as it's like the fact that these people are creating legislation impact my rights and the rights of people in my community, and yet are playing in our face like this. There's layers and layers to it, but one of the things that I keep thinking about are all the images that we know we have seen throughout the years. We've seen this, we've seen Putin on a horse, we've seen different things that are right in front of our face. As more and more artificial things become popular, how much will we believe is real? And how, like, if you didn't know that this existed, I don't want to be in between them. Let me go up here. If you didn't know that this was an actual thing that existed, the whole little scene and all the comments and the interactions between the two of them, you would maybe think it's AI. You would think that that's not real. And is that part of the reason why AI is being pushed so much? Because it blurs the boundaries. We don't know. It definitely helps people hide in plain sight if what is in plain sight is in question, if it's even real at all. They put it in front of our faces intentionally. My parents were pervs, and I have been cracking the code of the creep since I was a child. Images that we have seen throughout the years that point to something else going on. It's hazing, it's team building, you can call it different things, but in this context, when we use words like that, it makes it seem unusual, otherworldly, demonic. Like, there's words that go along with, like nicknames, doing dress up, going into public as it's like the fact that these people are creating legislation impact my rights and the rights of people in my community, and yet are playing in our face like this. There's layers and layers to it, but one of the things that I keep thinking about are all the images that we know we have seen throughout the years. We've seen this, we've seen Putin on a horse, we've seen different things that are right in front of our face. As more and more artificial things become popular, how much will we believe is real? And how, like, if you didn't know that this existed, I don't want to be in between them. Let me go up here. If you didn't know that this was an actual thing that existed, the whole little scene and all the comments and the interactions between the two of them, you would maybe think it's AI. You would think that that's not real. And is that part of the reason why AI is being pushed so much? Because it blurs the boundaries. We don't know. It definitely helps people hide in plain sight if what is in plain sight is in question, if it's even real at all. They put it in front of our faces intentionally. My parents were pervs, and I have been cracking the code of the creep since I was a child.
So lovely. So I came across the stitches on my For You, and I thought to share. The House has actually passed a bill to release the Epstein file. And the thing is that Orange Man, in the other hand, is like, okay, we are done playing. I am so tired of hearing this Epstein list here and there. And I think he's also giving a go-ahead to release the said Epstein list. And the thing is that people are so concerned about the sudden flip from Orange Man, and people are like, what if these guys have not actually changed the list? What if they are wasting all of this time in order to clear some people's name? You know what I mean? Or in order to actually make it look like um all of these things is just fallacy. And so many people were of the opinion that if Orange Man could comfortably, you know, all of a sudden, that means there's a game he's playing, and people are not having it with his head game. Because why is it that it has to take to this time, has to take so long with constant pushing, constant talking about how the list needs to be, you know, released? It has to take this much energy for them to finally agree. That means there is something in the said list that some people are just trying to sweep under the rug, you know. But the thing is that at the end of the day, the truth shall prevail. The truth shall tell itself, because you can never hide the truth for so long. The people who are so involved with this PDF stuff need to be brought to justice, because this is so unacceptable. The level of PDF, and if this is not solved, that means other people, other victims won't have this courage to come out and speak out, because they believe that even if they speak out or not, justice will not be served. Like, seriously, lovelies, anytime this topic of Epstein list comes up, I keep asking myself, what was the goal of all of this? People who got themselves involved with this. It is always the people that is less expected. It is always the people whom people actually look up to in terms of responsibility, in terms of people, you know, rich folks, people who are supposed to be the ones saving and protecting these younger ones. They are now the ones putting the younger ones in a very funny way. There is this particular stitch I wanted to stitch it here, but it's not something that is eye appealing. This man, this said Epstein, whatsoever his name is, was seen carrying an underage on his towels, and oh gosh, it's the way it's all giving touchy, the way at which he painted his room with the blue, like, oh my goodness, love this guy's really did a whole lot. They really did a whole lot, you know. And the way at which this man acquired so many things, you keep asking yourself, how come people like this got themselves involved with these shenanigans and they are getting away with it? How come these guys have to take, like, it has to take this moment for justice to be served? We are not even sure if it will eventually serve, because the way at which they're like, oh, release it, that means something has already happened underneath. Something has already happened underground. And I wouldn't blame people for not trusting the process, because anything can be done. And with the issue of AI and the way at which they're pushing this AI, just like the sister I stitched her video, so many of these people who committed the offense might change their narrative, making it look like, oh, they are not the ones that is being circulated. They are not the ones in the picture that is being circulated. This is how dangerous AI can be. Anyways, We just hope by the end of the day, justice will be served. Anyway, lovelies, wanna just leave me your own thought in the comment section. And before you think of this video, as I said earlier, I'm a little bit under the weather, so please forgive me. Like this video, share, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload it. Anyway, lovelies, wanna just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that, and also support my other channel, Verse. And I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.